Example 3. Maryam has a bottle of 5% acetic acid and a bottle of 10% acetic acid. How much of each should she use to make 250 milliliters of 8% acetic acid? Okay, so just like any example, do a sketch in order to help you figure out what the problem is or looks like. But in any case, you have two bottles. One is bottle X, the other one is bottle Y. We don't know how much of each in milliliters do you have for each of them. However, we do know originally the percentage of acetic acid in each of them. So let's underline the important stuff. It says that one bottle has 5% acetic acid and the other one has 10% acetic acid. We don't know in terms of milliliters how much each of these have, but we do know that this one has 5% of acetic acid and this one has 10% of acetic acid. Now we do know this, that at the end she wants to get a total of 200 milliliters with 8% acetic acid, right? So let's do this bottle. Let's make it green, right? And we know that we want to get a total of when you add both the amounts of bottles X and Y, you want to get a total of 250 milliliters, right? And we want to get 8% of this acetic acid. Now, we have to figure out how much of each of these amounts do we need in order to get 250 milliliters with 8% of it being acetic acid, right? So we can practically see what our first equation is, right? So let's start by doing that. So we want to say the following. Let me start that over here. We want to say that at the end, when you add the amounts of bottle X plus bottle Y, you want to get a total of 250 milliliters, right? I won't put the units there. However, we want to get 8% of acetic acid at the end. So knowing that bottle X has 5% of acetic acid, that means that 5% of the amount here is made of acetic acid. So how do you show that algebraically? Maybe you want to pause and try it, but this is how you show it algebraically. 0.05x plus, right, that's 5% of X, that will be acetic acid, plus 10% of this, that will be 0.1 of acetic acid, of bottle Y is acetic acid. Now we want to get a total of 8% of this. So we know what the final amount is going to be, the 250 milliliters, but the percentage of it, we want 8% of this to be of acetic acid. So how do we show that? How do we show 8% of 250? Well, it's very easy. We just multiply 250 by 0.08. So there you have it. Those are our first two equations. Now we gotta solve for X and Y. That means for the amount in milliliters for each of the bottles, right? And that will give us the answer as to how much do we need from each. So you may pause the video and try to see how to solve this. But what I'm gonna do is, once again, I'm gonna use the method of elimination. You can use the method of substitution, whatever you find it easier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply equation. I'm going to try to eliminate I'm going to eliminate Y first, and I'm going to try to do that by multiplying equation 1 by 0.1. So we're going to end up with a new equation. Here, I'm going to put a little star here, new equation 1, which is going to be 1 times 0.1. I run out of space, so I'm going to rewrite it again. So we end up with 0.1 times x, that gives us 0.1x plus 0.1y equals to 0.1 times 250, that gives us 25. And now I'm going to rewrite the equation 2 here, 0.05x plus 0.1 y equals 0.08 times 250, that gives us 20. Okay, so we have our two equations here. Right, let me just label with the right color. And I'm going to subtract in order to eliminate y. So let's do that. We subtract the new equation 1 minus the equation 2, and that is going to give me 0.1x minus 0.05, that gives us 0.05x, and this 0.1y minus 0.1y, that gives us 0. 25 minus 20, that gives us 5. Now x is going to be equal to 5 divided by 0.05. This is equal to put it in your calculator, and you get 100. Good. So now that we have this, we can use this x equals 100 and find out what the value of y is. Although at this point you might be able to tell what the value is. So let's do that. This becomes 100. Okay, actually let me write this down. Sub x equals 100 into equation 1. So we get 100 plus y equals 250. Y is equal to 250 minus 100. That gives us y equals 150. Okay, so now we know each of the amounts in milliliters that we need to add from each of the bottles, X and Y, bottle X and bottle Y, in order to get a solution of 250 milliliters with 8% acetic acid. So let's write this down. Therefore, Maryam should use 100 milliliters of bottle X and 150 milliliters of bottle Y in order to make 250 milliliters of 8% acetic acid.